like a block build little shed.
Is that how you imagine your
I
life?
used to have a Porsche 944 and people just kept asking us to make like different
One,
vehicles.
two, three, four.
Jonathan, big showroom, separate workshop. Is that how you imagine your life?
First leaving school, I would have said no, because never what I wanted to do, never the path I went down to do, because I always wanted to be a mechanic. So I started off as a mechanic. I did that for 19 years, fixing heavy goods vehicles. And this started as a hobby in the background, because I was always a welder, like making things. And then it just kind of took a swing from there.
So from the mechanic to the welder. So how long ago did it start? And
I initially started making like bits and bobs in me first ever house. So I had a yard and I made like a block build little shed. It was literally 3 meters by 2 meters.
so what was the moment when you realized, okay, there's some money there, some demand, and I could actually make a living out of it?
I think the first thing was, as a Father's Day gift for my dad, I used to have a Porsche 944 and the engine seized on it. So I had the engine lying there and I thought, Father's Day coming up. So I made my dad a bottle rack for wine. Someone offered us £800 for it straight away. And I was like, wow.
So were you like combining those two together at first, so being a mechanic full time and then doing that as a side hustle? And how long did it take you to go from a side hustle to a full time job making, things?
So I started doing this. I opened a business in 2015 where I started with a Facebook page, then went on Instagram and started getting followers, and people started asking us if I could make tables. It kind of just took off from there. People,
Just wing it and then
Yeah.
just make it happen. What actually, as a Rustic Revive, what do you offer? What's your product?
So we offer like a industrial bespoke furniture, like fabrication. Like, so if you come to us with an idea, we'll bring it to life. So like, for example, if you want a home bar, if you want some new wardrobes, shelving, dining table, coffee table, sliding door, anything really. So we do mainly domestic, but we do like commercial as well. So if you open up a cafe, make your bar, make all your back bars, fittings, tables, like anything really. As well as all our standard products that are on the website, we do, like I say, work with businesses and obviously homes as well for custom stuff. So if you see something, might not even be something we've ever made before, like at all, we can make it like from scratch for you, work with you to help you design it. A lot of people want something that no one else has got. So there's that side of things, but also with businesses, anywhere from counters to designing your logos, cutting them out into steel, to like basically fully furnishing your new cafe, restaurant, bookshop, anything really. So a lot of things as well as you want to always come up with new products to keep people interested, because you don't want people just to see, oh, that's a table. Like we've spoke previously, like if you're scanning through Facebook, yeah, table, like don't care about that. We design everything. So everything that we make, we design, we make like from scratch basically. So from physically the initial idea, drawing it, speaking about it, making it.
What was the most fun project that you ever did?
Fun project, I would definitely say, was Mood Food, because we literally made all the furnishings in there, and like working with Alona, which is a great customer. We kind of like bounce off each other with our ideas. It was great. Like they've got the table swings in there, like all the kitchen units, and a lot of it she like just gave me free rein because she trusts me work and she likes me work, which is always great. Another one is working with NE1, the council at Newcastle, is our table swings again, which are on the quayside, and we've also got on Granger Street the like the pop-up tables, like the bright colourful ones. You might have seen them with the planters in. It's on Grey Street now, the Grey Street Gathering, and just little projects like that really. It's just like, it's nice to be noticed and for companies like that to actually come to you and get like work with them.
And then because you've got the showroom and then the separate workshop, is that where the most customers come in and then you make your business, or do you have other channels?
So at the minute we're currently spending a lot of money on the website, but it doesn't do what we would like it to do, which it should be really at this stage. But so at the minute, it's mainly Facebook and Instagram have been absolutely amazing for us, but we do spend a lot of money on advertising on the both, which often does convert to sales and it does get traffic into the showroom, so it's definitely worth it.
Which one brings more revenue Rustic Revive or Chesterfield?
Revenue wise, and I think this is probably something I'm going to get onto, is definitely the Chesterfield showroom brings more, because I think the biggest problem with Rustic Revive is we seriously underprice ourselves. Where like we know people come to us and like we quote them, not like trying to blow our own trumpet here, but when we deliver it to the house, they say they didn't expect it to be anywhere near this kind of quality or this good. Because the whole thing of judging things are photographs, obviously, unless someone comes to the showroom. So it is something I think we're going to have to seriously look at, like
Upping the
re-looking at that
price.
sort of thing, like possibly. But we try and make it affordable for everybody. But it's at the point now where it's just, with what's going on in the world and trading and this, that, and the other, it's just getting impossible to try and do that. So definitely, profit-wise, is definitely the Chesterfield showroom.
You've been on multiple expos. How did that go for you?
So we've done Live in North magazine show a few times, which the first couple of times it was really good for us. But we did advertise it really well and said that the showroom was going to be closed. So I think people headed up to see us there instead. And we did give people tickets, like customers and things like that. And then this year, for the first year, we've done the Great Yorkshire Show at Harrogate, which was absolutely amazing, like a different kind of scale. It was like never seen anything as big. And like people coming up and complimenting your work and saying they've seen yours online and we've seen your videos. It's just like, wow, like people actually watch and look, you know.
Going from Rustic Revive, because now we're in Chesterfield showroom. So where the idea of Chesterfield came in and how did it start?
So the Chesterfield showroom was just an idea that me and Ben both had, and realised like a Chesterfield sofa, they're a timeless piece. They've gone back nearly 500 years now, and the work now work alongside with the manufacturer, so we can supply brand new, all like made in Britain, like the best of the best, really. So we can now offer that service. The Rustic Revive is mine. Me and Ben, I wouldn't say he works for us, he works with us, because without Ben, there's no Rustic Revive, which I'm highly grateful of. You never find someone like him. Like
That's what you mentioned, that it's really difficult to find someone that actually looks after the business. So not only does the job and fucks off,
yeah,
but actually, is invested and thinks about like, okay, how to make it better
yeah.
than just get money, than wages. And
But in the most respect to Ben, like he doesn't like come 5 o'clock, doesn't down tools. But it's like swings and roundabouts for me. If he needs to go home, he can go home. Same with me. If I need to go home, I go home. And like on holiday, we both cover each other's jobs, and where it's very, very hard to find that in a person, and like it's really difficult. I think that's where people will struggle, is once you do start to go and think you do need to take someone else on, it's finding someone you trust. Because me and Ben are like best friends, like where people say friends don't work together. Yeah, we argue. Like sometimes he might come in and might be like a bit down or whatever. Got to both be on the same team basically, and that's the way it works, and that's the way it works with us.
so could you tell us more about like some challenges in the business, maybe in the growth of the business?
I would definitely say challenge-wise, it's like it's always been like trying to keep up sort of thing. Like because there's always going to be companies that are bigger than you, and like, oh, I've seen this like there, and like, I won't name any high street brands, but like certain companies have a name and people think they're getting something better. They might be paying a lot more than us, but because it's that name, they think it's better. But 9 times out of 10, it isn't. It's imported. Where obviously ours are all made physically here in the workshop, which is over the road. So challenge-wise, I would just definitely say it's like getting things to work, like your websites, your socials, getting interactions. It's like the whole thing where people like, I'll put a post on, say, oh, like message me now or some things like, because people don't realize if you put a product on, people might see it, might think, oh, that's nice. But if your price is on there, everything's on there, they need to know. But if you can reel them into a conversation, you can actually think, well, because the like on the fence, they want to buy it, but they don't quite know. But if you can chat with them and maybe show them a couple of additional photographs, you can kind of sell. So it's that whole thing really of like being willing to like speak to people and try and push things to keep up with everyone else basically and get your sales, because no sales is no money, no bills, no nothing really. So growth wise, and when it comes to bills and things like that, obviously every month gets harder because just it does. Like when you work for yourself, you're not only going to work, but you've got to physically find the work as well, which is a very difficult part of it. You do one thing to do, and I think like the biggest support I've got is probably my mum, like sharing absolutely everything, like so proud of me boy and things like that, which is absolutely great. Like, but it's, you don't want to like force it on people, so that's why we spend a lot of money on like targeted advertising, so people with interest in furniture, businesses and like sofas, to try and hit them rather than just spamming everybody with it. But you always get people, and then you get the negative comments and things like that, where it's a bit disheartening. But like in the day, I say any interaction is good interaction. So like someone might comment and say, "Oh, that's an absolute pile of shite," and I'll say, "Thanks very much for the positive feedback. Enjoy your day." And I just think like, because other people just find that funny. Like I'm not getting myself wound up about it. Where in the early days I would, but now everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I don't care, to be fair. So.
And then when you thinking about expansion in some next years, what do you think some of the challenges will be?
Getting back to it, a lot of it is employment. So, like in an ideal world, we would love someone just to be in the showroom full time, like just pulling people in, running the social accounts, like doing videos. We're the world at the minute, but TikTok and things like that, where it would take a lot of the stress off me and Ben trying to do that, as well as being the makers of the furniture as well. I would love to have a van on the road all day, every day, going across the UK, delivering, but a lot of it comes down to trust. And obviously just handling the products, because you don't want them to end up damaged. We would potentially like a much bigger showroom, but we feel like we've got here everything on display. The only thing I would possibly maybe consider is not making it into a franchise, but maybe is making one further afield, like further down south, just mainly to try and take the stress off us, like traveling down there as much. But in the future, that would be an idea to maybe open up another store, like closer to London. Employment-wise, I would love to take another welder on, but at the minute,
Challenging to find someone.
It's challenging to find someone. It's a lot more money, and it's just like, obviously you need to get sales.
As a business owners, and for everyone who wants to start a business, what's something that no one told you before starting a business, but they should tell you?
It's a hard one, because I've got a lot of self-employed friends who like seen what I did and just says, just go for it, you'll never look back, sort of thing. But where I was in the like working like heavy goods mechanic, I was on really good money, and like as everybody got debt and things like that, bills to pay, mortgages. But people always joke, say, you've got your own business and think you can do what you want. You'll never work as long a day than you do when you're self-employed, but it's the whole thing of you get out of it what you put into it, so it is worth it. But I think that's one of the main things. It's like very hard trying to find like a homework balance, because you get to the point where like you're addicted to work, because like you say, like you want to do well for your family, you want to like be able to pay your bills and all the rest of it, and you want to obviously get bigger and progress. So it's just that whole thing really of like finding that happy balance, but it's very, very hard to find that.
And then how does your day in life look like? So what do you do during the day? What you focus, like what you spend the most time on?
So as ever, like obviously you need work to be able to do work. So I spend most of my time, I know it's really hard during the day, so like replying to messages and things like that, and I do all the socials like myself, like me and Ben try and split it, and he does 1 week, I do the other. And it's just trying to find like the time to actually physically pick the welder up and make the stuff. So sometimes during the day it can get to 1 in the afternoon and I haven't even started welding. Like it's obviously it's your products that you need to make, like keep the doors open, but at the same time you've got to think about your socials, your stories on Instagram and running adverts, and then obviously then you've got the showroom as well. So between me and Ben, we both juggle the showroom. So a day it's like here, there, and everywhere, So no day is the same, I would say.
And as the most common objection from your customers, is it the price or is it something else?
Objection wise, you get people like, it's handmade, it's going to cost more than something mass produced. So material wise, takes up best part of what we actually charge, obviously. And then obviously there's your labour, and we do not charge like ridiculous amounts for what we sell. Like just what we just previously spoke about our prices being low and things like that. So I think a lot of it as well as companies like your Wayfairs and like Alibaba, whatever you call it now at the minute, people look and think, oh, that looks the same. That's the same as what you're selling. It's not the same at all. It'll last you 6 months at best, where ours, if you look after it, it will last you forever. And it is a much higher quality. So
do you have a message to anyone who would come to you and say, oh, I can buy something similar, cheaper in IKEA?
Message really is that whole thing. It might sound rude or whatever, but it is, you really do get what you pay for. Whereas in the materials used, so like ours are all solid wood, it would be either veneered or boxwood, like your eggshell doors and things like that, and it just basically, it wouldn't last. It might look nice for 6 months, a year max, but after that you'll be looking to replace. So it's that false economy, isn't it? It's all like it's true, isn't it? Like buy cheap, buy twice, which I stick to.
So would you say like the quality of work or like the materials, what's your like biggest USP? How do you stand out in the market?
Well, our USP is like our slogan really, like built by hand, built to last is what I like to say, where we take time over everything we make, and if there is a fault on it, it'll get rectified. I would never send anything out with a known fault. Like never, like even if I might get away with it, I wouldn't do it, because then the day it's our name on it, and like we thrive ourselves on our reviews, which if you look is 5-star like on every platform, and we've got hundreds of reviews, so that's very hard to keep on top of. So that's in materials that we use, like we don't use rubbish.
Looking at the beginning, going back to the beginning of your business, how much maybe nowadays someone would need to set up like a similar type of business? So what's the investment that you would have to take now?
Investment wise, like obviously being a mechanic, like a heavy goods mechanic, I had like most hand tools and things like that, but to be honest, most of them are completely irrelevant. But to start off with, I literally had electric drill. I bought a planer thicknesser, like one of the cheapest ones you could get, like a DeWalt one, just cheap hand sanders and things like that. And then obviously as you progress, you like move up. So I would say price wise, probably £500 for like some basic kind of tools and things like that.
And nowadays, what's the most expensive piece of equipment that you have?
At the minute, we've got a laser CNC plasma machine, which cuts all the steel signs, like the one behind us here. So like logos and whatever brackets we need to make like our steel furnishings and things like that. So that, I think that was somewhere in the region of about £12,000. I think to date, that's probably the most expensive thing we've got.
What's your best seller, so like a best-selling product?
Our bread and butter kind of product is dining room table sets. But to be honest, at the minute, we're doing a lot of home bars. It seems to be becoming more popular, which I think a lot of it is down to the price of a pint in a pub, really. It's like London prices now everywhere. So our home bars do really well, but with them you do get a lot of product for your money, and they are really good. Like when people get them, they absolutely love them. So, but one that we do quite a bit of them, but they are like bespoke to us, is our wine box units, where if you go on the website and just type in wine crate, they all come up. So it's like the original, like from vineyard and things all over the world, wine boxes that we make into drawed units, which a lot of customers love them. Like we've got some customers where they've got like 6 different types in the house, where they always want something else and ask us to make things. So, and I enjoy making them. So that is a product where I would like to kind of push more on. So we might start focusing on the website and things like that.
And for someone on the final note who's starting a business or thinks about starting a business, what would be a piece of advice that you would give them?
Advice-wise, like the world revolves around it. People try and say it doesn't, but it does, is money. I would definitely say try and have yourself a bit of a buffer in a bank account. So if you are thinking about leaving a full-time job, maybe like save up a little bit. Like don't just go in one day and go, that's it, screw you, I'm gone. And another one I would say is where you do work is, I know you would probably like to, is don't burn your bridges. Don't say what you would like to say to somebody as you leave. Like always leave it like amicable or whatever you want. But advice-wise would definitely be the buffer of a bit of money. With me, I've got a very, very supportive wife who's like been there all along the way and very understanding, like with all the long hours and things like that. And that is one thing that you're going to have to think about, is the seriously long hours that you've got to put into it. And that's if you do want to grow and like develop, because at the end of the day, customers don't just turn up at your door. You don't like get up in the morning, go outside and people stood waiting to ask you to do a job for them. That just doesn't happen. So in the reality of it, I would definitely say just be prepared to work every hour of every day until you get up and running. And even then, it can still be like that. But another bit of advice would be definitely try and have some downtime for yourself.
Thank you so much for the interview. I think if you'd like to check both the Chesterfield showroom and Rustic Revive, you will see in the description the link. So check out Jonathan's work. And if you have any questions, I'm sure you can drop a DM. And if you need a custom fit out for your business as well, reach out for some quotes.
Right. Thank you very much.